Who are the biggest winners and losers from week 5 of the NFL season? All that and more in this episode of the Locked On Dynasty Football Podcast.
You are Locked On Dynasty Football, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Here are your hosts, Marcus Mosher and Kate Magdziuk.
Today's episode of Locked On Dynasty is presented by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. Pick 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on your entry. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. That's prizepicks.com, promo code Locked On. Welcome into our Locked On Dynasty Football Podcast, everybody. I am Kate Magdziuk. You can follow me on Twitter at FFBallBlast. And as always, I am joined by my fantastic co-host, Marcus Mosher. You can follow him over on Twitter at Marcus_Mosher. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button wherever you are listening. And please be sure to check us out on YouTube, where we are posting videos, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 days a week, baby. We are coming to you live. So, Marcus, happy Monday. We are just about to close out week 5, and we have got a lot to talk about.
You are kind of like the LeBron James of Twitter. So giving us the not 1, not 2, not 3 is yeah, let's get right into it because we've got so many players to talk about today. I want to start with the rookie running backs because I think that's the big story. All right, we can mention Damian Pierce. We don't really have to talk about him all that much because we do every show, but 26.
Are you sick of Damian Pierce?
No, I'm not sick of Damian Pierce. It's just we kind of know what he is now, right? Like, he's really good. 26 carries for 99 yards and a touchdown. Also added in 3 for 14 in the receiving game. He's a every week high-end RB2 with upside.
Yep. Yep. That's literally all we have to say. He's a must start.
Yeah, must start rest of the way.
End of discussion. Must start.
Let's talk about somebody else that's a little bit more exciting, at least to me, Kate, even though I love Damian Pierce. Breece Hall, he has officially broken out. He started to play well last week against the Steelers, and then this week was the breakout game. Kate, 18 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown. He also had 2 receptions for 100 yards, and if you watch this game, he was about 2 inches away from 2 other touchdowns. On the 79-yard reception, he brought it to the 1-inch line, and then Michael Carter knocked it in. He had 2 touchdowns in this game as well. But Breece Hall, 197 yards and a touchdown. Welcome to being an RB1 the rest of the way.
Yeah, RB3 on the week was just absolutely dominant in every single phase of the game. Interesting, though, we still saw Michael Carter be plenty involved, and I think this is just kind of a testament to how they're going to try to execute this run game with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Carter still had 12 touches on the day, as you mentioned, 2 touchdowns. So I think there's room for both of these guys to actually be involved in the running game without necessarily taking too much away from the other. I think, sure, give me Breece Hall as an RB1, but maybe the bigger takeaway, more surprising takeaway, is Michael Carter, probably flex worthy on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, this Jets offense isn't bad. Now, they don't get the ball to the receivers when Zach Wilson plays. I don't get it. But Breece Hall, a good player. Without overreacting too much, let's just kind of go through some of the running backs that we would take over Breece Hall in Dynasty without really having to think. The answer is still Jonathan Taylor. And then how many, Kate? DeAndre Swift?
Yes.
Okay. Christian McCaffrey?
Yes.
Najee Harris?
Honestly, we're getting close. That's probably the cutoff there.
Saquon Barkley?
I'll still take Saquon.
And I would have said Javonte Williams before last week, but no. Austin Eckler?
I'll take Austin Eckler.
Okay. Oh, so you're a little bit lower on Breece Hall than what the rest of the Dynasty community is. Because right now, going into week 5, he was RB6. I think you have him probably around RB7, RB8, maybe around the Would you have him ahead of Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb? I think you would.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm probably a little bit more bullish on him. I think I would have him over Najee Harris and maybe over.
I actually think I might have him over
Okay.
Najee.
Okay.
Najee's bumping down, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. As like the biggest Najee Harris fan ever, I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh. Jaylen Warren looks like the better running back. It's unsettling. I don't know if Najee isn't healthy, but either way, I like this offense. Not fantastic.
Yeah.
Not just not an ideal situation at all. But the fact that Jaylen Warren is looking like the better runner right now is the most concerning aspect of this whole situation.
There was
another rookie.
Yeah, another rookie running back that we should mention. This one's not quite as exciting because of what happened in this game, but Kenneth Walker, 8 carries for 88 yards and touchdown. He had a 69-yard run in this one for a touchdown, but he really only got on the field extensively after Rashad Penny, who was playing really well. He was 8 for 54 in this game, went down with an ankle injury that seems like it's going to be one that could potentially end his season, but
it's officially a broken tibia. So he is very much likely out for the season.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. It's like, especially we finally saw the big Rashad Penny breakout in week 4, was playing really well this week. I think, this Seattle Seahawks offense is really catching people by surprise. You had Tyler Lockett with 2 touchdowns. This entire offense is being more productive than I think any of us would have expected. But Kenneth Walker probably RB1, RB2 the rest of the way.
Just really quickly, some Pro Football Focus grades before they're officially announced. You'll hear him first in this podcast. Geno Smith through week 5 is the highest graded quarterback in the NFL.
Leads the NFL in passer rating, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be excited for what Geno's doing right now? Just playing outside of his mind. But do you have faith that Kenneth Walker can be somebody that you can play every single week going forward and that he's going to produce at least RB2 numbers?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Pete Carroll, though, sometimes we've seen this with Rashad Penny. He'll get going, and then the next week they'll give him 7 touches, and DJ Dallas will be getting work. But we trust Kenneth Walker going forward.
I mean, I think the fact that, with Rashad Penny and those concerns, we really did have Kenneth Walker there as a threat, 2nd round pick. But, without Rashad Penny there, this really is there's a huge tier break between, Kenneth Walker, Travis Homer, there's a big tier break there. And I think that's what separates me in terms of my, the concern with Rashad Penny versus concern without. I think that Kenneth Walker is going to touch the ball plenty. Got speed for days. That 69-yard run, that's he's got breakaway speed. And I think we're going to see that plenty here, especially with the way that offense is playing. I think they're going to be able to get him in some favorable situations.
All right, let's talk to you guys about Prize Picks. If you've never played Prize Picks before, it's absolutely incredible. It's so much fun. How does it work? All you have to do is pick 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their Prize Pick projection, you win. You can win up to 10 times your money on any entry. No competing against other people that don't have jobs and just sit home and look at DFS stuff all day. It's just you versus the projections available. Prize Picks offers projections on just about any sport that you watch. That includes, are you ready, Kate? NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, PGA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, soccer, WNBA, esports, NASCAR, tennis, MMA, boxing, disc golf, Euro basketball, cricket, and more. If I forgot one, they probably still have it. They have everything up there. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It is that easy. They are currently operational in over 30 states and in Canada. All you have to do is download the Prize Pick app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. That means if you deposit $100, they'll give you $100. If you just decide to deposit $30, they'll give you $30. Don't forget to enter promo code Locked On at sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. All right, Kate, let's run through some other non-rookie performers from week 5. We'll save the quarterbacks for the end because I got a feeling we need to talk about them. But who surprised you here in week 5?
I don't want to talk about a surprise, but I do want to talk about this guy as just such a clear-cut winner. There were 2 wide receivers that I feel like were in the conversation for wide receiver 1 in Dynasty Fantasy Football coming into the season, and that was Ja'Marr Chase and that was Justin Jefferson. And through 5 weeks, it's not even close, Marcus.
No.
Like Justin Jefferson, far and away the wide receiver 1. On pace for almost 190 targets this season, 1,860 scrimmage yards, 7 touchdowns. Every season, Marcus, he keeps adding like another 200 yards receiving to his total, at least based on our projections. So if my math is correct, by the time he's in like his 6th season, he's going to have like 14,000 scrimmage yards. Just like he has so significantly separated himself, I think, from Ja'Marr Chase in this race for wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. And there's not really any debate about that for me.
Yeah, I agree. Justin Jefferson's the number 1 receiver that I want to own right now. I want to mention Gabe Davis, who pretty clearly the last couple of weeks dealing with an injury, not 100%, missed a lot of practice time. This is the first week he got a full practice in all week long. And we saw a 98-yard touchdown to start the game. Also had another touchdown in this game, which was somehow better than the 98-yard touchdown, a one-handed grab that he kind of stole away from Minkah Fitzpatrick. Okay, 3 catches for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns on 6 targets. And it could have been an even bigger day if the Steelers provided any resistance on offense.
Yeah, it definitely something that we have to be excited about. Do we want to keep rolling with the positive? Because I have a negative that I really, really, really want to get to.
Go ahead. Do a negative.
Okay. I'm going to shake it. We can go back to positive,
That's
but
fine.
I'm
That's fine.
itching to talk about this guy. We got to talk about Matthew Stafford. Who broke him? Who broke him, Marcus?
That whole offense is disgusting. And okay, there was 2 long plays in this game. Tutu Atwell, yeah, remember him? He had a 54-yard reception, and then Cooper Kupp had a 75-yard catch and run. Other than that, they never had to play over 15 yards the rest of the game. Like, that offense is shot.
That offense is very much shot. And I mean, Matthew Stafford, I don't really know what to make of his play right now. I think, I don't know if this elbow really is affecting him in season. I feel like we were all worried before the season, and then the season came and we kind of like let those concerns wash away a little bit. But now that we're seeing him play as poorly as he is, like, I mean, Marcus, he's going to be 35 this year. He's not performing at all as you'd want through, like, I'll be totally frank. I have a keeper league, Marcus, and I dropped Matthew Stafford. Can you guess which quarterback I picked up instead?
Bailey Zappi.
Geno Smith.
Oh, that's a great trade. You upgraded.
No. I upgraded, but like the fact that that's an upgrade and it's like not even a question mark, like that's pretty insane. Matthew Stafford, QB 26 on the season. That is behind Baker Mayfield, behind Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Ryan. It's shocking, honestly.
And it's affecting the receivers. And we talked about this on Friday, Kate. Like, if Allen Robinson has another stinker game, what do you do with him? And what did he do in this game? He had 3 catches for 12 yards on 5 targets. Okay, that brings his season total through 5 games to 107 yards and a single touchdown. I mean, we were kind of joking about should you drop Allen Robinson in Dynasty, but now I'm seriously asking, like, what do you do with Allen Robinson, especially if you're in a short bench league?
I'm still trying to trade him, but I mean, I still can't figure out how short the bench would have to get, but it feels reactionary to me. But because like this is still a Sean McVay offense, like you have to think that they're going to figure it out. Sean McVay always does, but like the fact that Justin Jefferson has had more receiving yards in 3 of his 5 games than Allen Robinson does in the entirety of a season so far. Whew.
I mean, okay, Allen Robinson, he is guaranteed $15.5 million next season with the Rams.
I mean, that's part of the question mark though, Marcus, in terms of what do you do with Allen Robinson? Like, they can't toss him away. Like, you've got to find a way to get him involved. Like, are these growing pains of the offense? And like, maybe Van Jefferson needs to be there to take things off the top, and that'll open. Like, I don't know what the answer is. The run game, absolutely atrocious. Like, it's not working. I don't know. Again, is it Cam Akers? Is it like, what is it for this team? I don't know. There are so many different variables kind of floating around right now, but I feel like they've got to find some sort of answer because they are too financially invested in Allen Robinson. And like, I don't know. I don't think Allen Robinson is washed just yet, but maybe that's me being overly optimistic.
Yeah, it's tough. Couple other things just to be a downer. I hate what Chicago's doing with their backfield. David Montgomery got hurt. Was it week 4? Week 3. Missed week 4. Khalil Herbert looked really good, and then he comes back this week. Clearly not 100%. 12 carries for 20 yards. He did get a touchdown. Khalil Herbert 4 carries for 11 yards. Like, I don't know. This is just frustrating watching these two. Just let one of these guys be the feature back, and I'm kind of like to see it be Khalil Herbert.
I mean, I think, like, honestly, there's still a world where you could have both of these guys plenty involved. Like, it's not like the passing game has worked all that efficiently. We've seen some uptick in the last couple of weeks, but like, I don't think there's enough to like, that you have to worry about taking away from the passing game. Like, just go ahead, establish the run and see what comes after. But like, why wouldn't you be doing that with these two running backs specifically? Like,
one more thing before we move on. The tight end position is absolutely gross this year. Let me just say that it's horrendous.
Marcus, we say this every year. Every year.
So here are your tight ends in terms of most points scored in PPR leagues. Okay. You've got Mark Andrews at number 1, although Travis Kelce could pass him tonight. TJ Hawkinson had a monster game this 2 weeks ago, and then he put up 1 catch for 6 yards against New England. It's Zach Ertz, it's Dallas Goedert, it's Tyler Higbee, and then Taysom Hill. My question for you is: Taysom Hill like somebody that you have to start at tight end now, or no?
I mean, honestly, probably. Like, I think it's disgusting, and I'm appalled. But
you have to start a tight end who has 1 catch for 2 yards of the season through 5 games.
But if he's going to have 5+ rush attempts every week, yeah, you kind of have to. Like, there's not. I can't. I don't understand it. It's working for them, I suppose. I hate the tight end position. It's kind of gross, and it's not fun. But like, Taysom Hill offers apparently more upside than most of our other options at tight end. So I think you got to start him. Like, I genuinely think right now, with a healthy Kyle Pitts, you have to consider, do I want to start Kyle Pitts or Taysom Hill?
Or like Dalton Schultz, Dalton Schultz has played the last couple of games with the Cowboys, albeit injured. I mean, he's basically done nothing. Like, I think he has 1 catch through 2 games. Yeah, you're at least take somebody who's going to get some goal line carries and a chance to score a touchdown. And that's just not Dalton Schultz right now.
Nope.
All right, let's talk about something even more depressing, rookie quarterbacks. But before we do that, I want to tell you about Built Bar. That's not depressing. If you haven't tried Built Bar Puffs yet, you are depriving yourself of one of life's greatest joys. And guess what? They have a new flavor out. Are you ready? It's delicious, indulgent cookie dough covered in chocolate. That's right. Built has done it again. Allow me to introduce you to your new favorite Built Bar. It is the Cookie Dough Chunk Puff. They have a light, chewy texture, real cookie dough chunks, and of course, they are covered in 100% real chocolate. All the joys of eating cookie dough without the hassle of making it. Plus, it's healthy for you. cookie dough chunk puffs are only 160 calories, and they have a whopping 16 grams of protein in them. Again, covered in 100% real chocolate. They're perfect if you want to take with you as a snack or as like a victory Monday if your team, like the Cowboys, happen to win and you just need something to celebrate with. Go to built.com and use promo code LOCKEDON15 and get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKEDON15 to check out the new cookie dough chunk puff. All right, Kate, let's talk about these rookie quarterbacks. We had 3 play extensively in week 5. We knew we were going to get Kenny Pickett and Bailey Zappi. We weren't so sure we were going to get Skylar Thompson, but let's go in order. Kenny Pickett, first start. What did you think?
It was a roller coaster. There were a lot of ups and downs. I think that this entire offense again has some ups and downs. Was pretty surprised at the rushing usage, had just 1 carry in this entire game. And I think that was where you really saw him shine in his original debut. I think like the Steelers need to be scheming for that and like utilize that mobility that Kenny Pickett has and use that to your advantage. Like I think they're really missing the boat here. But again, like the Steelers offense, Matt Canada, I'm not really trusting them to scheme to play to a player's strengths at this point. Like it's just not great. But I mean, hey, 327 pass yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. But I mean, Marcus, the quarterbacks in general, the rookies we saw, they all combined for a total of 24.6 fantasy points among the 3 of them. And I would say Bailey Zappi performed the best out of all of them.
Let's talk about him really quickly. 17 of 21. So, I mean, just love that efficiency. 188 yards, averaged 9 yards an attempt in this game. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I don't know if he's adding a lot of value to the offense, but I think he's going to prove to be a pretty high quality backup for New England. I think he is one of those guys. If you need a spot start or whatever, I think he's good enough to kind of get you by. I was probably the most encouraged with Bailey Zappi this weekend.
Yeah, I think he definitely took the cake. Let's talk about Skylar Thompson though, because I know Skylar Thompson, you have been a huge fan of. What are your thoughts? Like, what do the Dolphins do? Because I don't think they can count on him. Completed just 57% of passes, 166 pass yards, 1 interception, a passer rating of 58.4 in his debut. And I don't know, is like he looked so great in the preseason. Is this something where like if we do see, these quarterbacks continue to miss time with these head injuries, can they count on Skylar Thompson? Because they got off to such a hot start and were just absolutely steamrolled by these Jets. I don't know like what the Dolphins do in terms of like, is Skylar Thompson good enough to be the backup quarterback for this team? They could really use a Bailey Zappi right now.
Yeah. So I will say with Skylar Thompson in relation to the other 2 quarterbacks, like Kenny Pickett and Zappi get the full week of practice to get ready for this game. Skylar Thompson came in early in the first quarter after Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. Like, I'm sure Thompson didn't take a single rep in team periods this week because they were trying to get Bridgewater ready to go. So I would imagine when the Dolphins get a little bit more time to kind of figure things out, he'll be better. But he's not the most gifted passer in the league. He doesn't have a huge arm. He's only 6'1". Okay. He's got baby hands, 8 5/8 inch hands. So the only quarterback with smaller hands in the league, Kenny Pickett. Like, he's just not he's not a big arm, big quarterback at all. So he needs to rely on accuracy, timing. And that's pretty hard when you don't get a lot of reps. So I'm sure he's never thrown to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Like, anytime that he's playing, I'm sure he's playing with all the backup receivers. So I'm not anticipating him getting a lot better, but I wouldn't be surprised if he looks more competent if he has to start next week.
Okay. Totally fair. Yeah. I think we saw enough in the preseason to get a little amped. Like
give him a little bit of time to see what like things look like. Cause we've seen some of these late round quarterbacks before. They need a year or 2 before they get settled in the offense.
That's totally fair. The only thing I will say, Mark, is let's bring this back to our dynasty rosters. If you are in a super flex and you happen to have one of these rookie quarterbacks on your team, would you rather have like one of these guys in your super flex, or would you be considering, like maybe your mid-tier wide receivers or
Wide receivers, because these guys are just going to be so high variance and they're going to be prone to turnovers, and more than likely the Dolphins and the Patriots aren't going to turn their quarterbacks loose and just let them throw it all over the field. So yeah, I think the upside's pretty low and the floor's pretty low as well. So yeah, I'm playing Marvin Jones over these guys.
okay. I like
All right, there you
give
go.
the
Well,
people
there,
what they want.
yeah. Lots of Skylar Thompson talk here on the
Yeah.
podcast. But all right, that is it for today's show. Thank you for making Locked On Dynasty your first listen every day. Now make your second listen to Peacock and Williamson NFL show. Brian Peacock and former NFL scout Matt Williamson give you the expert NFL analysis in less than 30 minutes. It's free and available wherever you get your podcasts, all the same places that you would download the Locked On Dynasty podcast. Please go like and subscribe over on YouTube. You can follow Kate at FF Ball Blast. I am at Marcus_Mosher. Matt and Ryan will be back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Kate, you and I will be back on Friday to preview week 6. And we'll see you guys next time.